Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Midnight Storyline. It's always great to have you here. Picture this for a moment. It's a scorching summer afternoon. The sun is blazing, the air feels heavy, and your throat is dry. You walk to your refrigerator, open the door, and instantly feel relief. Cold water, chilled food, ice cubes. Everything is right there, simple and effortless. But not long ago, this everyday comfort didn't exist. Around 200 years ago, keeping things cold was incredibly difficult. Ice was rare, expensive, and almost impossible to store for long. For most people, it was not part of daily life. It was a luxury. Then one man came along and changed everything. This is the story of ice, how it was harvested, how it traveled across oceans, and how it transformed the way the world lives today. Stay with me, because this journey is unforgettable. Our story begins in the early 1800s in Boston, a coastal city in the United States. Winters there were harsh. Lakes and rivers froze solid, covered with thick sheets of ice. To most people, this frozen surface meant nothing special. It came every winter and disappeared every spring. But one young man saw something completely different. He saw opportunity. His name was Frederick Tudor, born in 1783 into a wealthy family. He wasn't the type to follow a traditional path. He was imaginative, bold, and drawn to ideas that others ignored. At just 21 years old, he came up with a plan that sounded almost unbelievable. He wanted to cut ice from frozen lakes in Boston and ship it across the ocean to hot Caribbean islands where people had never even seen natural ice. People laughed at him. His idea seemed absurd. Even newspapers called it foolish. But he didn't give up. And that's where the real story begins. In 1806, he sent his first shipment. Workers cut large blocks of ice from frozen lakes, loaded them onto a ship, and set sail toward the Caribbean. There was just one problem. He had no real way to stop the ice from melting. No refrigerators. No advanced technology. Only wood, sawdust, and belief. He discovered that packing ice tightly with sawdust slowed the melting process. It wasn't perfect, but worked well enough to try. When the ship reached its destination, much of the ice had melted, but not all of it. Still, he lost money. And then he lost money again. And again. People in warm countries didn't understand ice. They didn't know how to use it, store it, or value it. So Tudor had to do more than sell ice. He had to teach people how to use it. Slowly, curiosity turned into interest. Interest turned into demand. And everything began to change. As time passed, he improved his methods. He learned how to cut ice more efficiently, how to store it longer, and how to transport it more safely. He partnered with skilled inventors who helped design better tools. One innovation allowed workers to cut ice into perfect blocks quickly, increasing production massively. Ice houses were built, large wooden structures filled with tightly packed ice and insulated with sawdust. These buildings could preserve ice for months. Soon, shipments expanded. Ice was sent to southern cities like New Orleans and Charleston, where the heat made it incredibly valuable. Cold drinks became popular. Food lasted longer. Life became more comfortable. The man once mocked for his idea was now gaining respect. But his biggest achievement was still ahead. In 1833, he attempted something truly extraordinary. He loaded a ship with 180 tons of ice and sent on a journey of over 25,000 kilometers to Kolkata, India. The journey took 4 months across hot oceans. Many believed it was impossible. They were sure the ice would melt completely before arrival. But Tudor trusted his system. When the ship finally reached India, much of the ice was still intact. People were amazed. For many, it was the first time they had ever seen natural ice. It felt almost magical. The ice sold quickly. The journey was a huge success. News spread rapidly, and suddenly, ice became a global commodity. From that point on, shipments reached South America, Australia, China, and beyond. Ice from New England was cooling drinks across the world. A dream once considered ridiculous had become a global industry. The impact was massive. Before ice, food spoiled quickly. Meat, fish, and milk couldn't last long in warm weather, often leading to illness. But with ice, everything changed. Ice boxes, early versions of refrigerators, allowed people to store food safely. Farmers preserved dairy products longer. Fishermen transported fresh fish to distant markets. Hospitals began using ice to treat fevers and provide relief in hot conditions. Ice became more than a luxury. It became essential. It created jobs, built communities, and shaped industries. And Frederick Tudor, once ridiculed, became known as the Ice King. But every revolution faces its end. In the late 1800s, new technology emerged, machines that could produce artificial ice. At first, natural ice companies didn't worry. Their methods were established and cheaper. But machines improved. They became more efficient, more affordable, and more reliable. Gradually, people shifted to machine-made ice. By the early 1900s, the natural ice trade began to fade. And by the mid-20th century, electric refrigerators became common in homes. Ice was no longer transported across oceans. It was made instantly in kitchens. What began as blocks cut from frozen lakes had evolved into modern refrigeration. So what does this story teach us? It reminds us that great ideas often sound foolish in the beginning. It shows us that failure is not the end. It's part of the journey. Frederick Tudor failed many times, but he kept going. He learned, adapted, and ultimately changed the world. And just like that, you are on your own journey too. Every new word you learn, every story you understand, it all adds up. Step by step, you move forward. Thank you for being here with Midnight Storyline. If you enjoyed this story, share what you learned. Stay connected, because many more powerful stories are waiting for you. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep moving forward.